Agent down. Rogue, explosive seeker mine detected. Rogue striker drone detected. An agent needs assistance.
I'm sending you a specialization supply drop.
Agent down.
Supply drop being claimed by friendly. The specialization supply drop has been claimed by an ally.
Agent down. Rogue Stinger Hive detected. Agent down. Rogue Hive detected. Rogue Defender drone detected.
The supply drop.
Agent down. Rogue Stinger Hive detected. The boost is being taken by allies. Allies have acquired the boost.
That's not that good.
Boost now
Down.
active.
It's pushing. Oh. Two guys down there. One went for spawn. It's gonna go around you. He's struck. It's male Patrick.
Agent down.
He's around. Behind you. He's gonna push you right. I'm gonna take him then. That's coming now. Down. You got two guys high ground.
I'm sending you a specialization supply drop.
Well, okay. In there. Alright, it's gonna go around us. On me. One down, one more. Down.
Immediate medical assistance needed. Striker drone detected. An agent needs assistance. Vital signs critical. Boost about to come online. Seeker mine detected.
What's up, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. Today's video is going to be a very potent assault rifle build. You could even call this an anti-meta build. I really wanted to get a playstyle going where we can mitigate the close range SMGs and shotguns. A lot of players are running up close to you with the Ridgeway's chest piece, Intimidate, Adrenaline Rush, shotguns, Hunter's Fury. That is running rampant in the game. So this is going to be a way of mitigating that through keeping your distance. We're going to be getting a huge amount of damage, 75% weapon damage just from our talents, from our gear pieces. One of the highest damage combinations in the game. You guys are going to really love this, and I'm looking forward to showcasing this build. So how we're going to play with this, it's going to be a longer range, medium to longer range. I have kind of built this towards damage, crit damage, and utilizing scope, getting high headshot damage as well, which multiplies off of some of the pieces we have. So you want to keep this at range, medium to long range. Like I said, we're going to be using a scope. Now remember, you can change this build to however you want to use it. Keeping your range, trying to play the play style with focus is quite interesting. If you're aiming your gun or with your scope and you aim out, aim back in every half a second, you actually keep scope, so you can actually move around the map whilst keeping it. It's going to be great way to get rid of those pesky players who are rushing you with their SMG builds. You will absolutely melt them to pieces with this. It's one of the best ranged builds in the game, and I'm really happy to bring this to you. Now it's going to be mainly focused around PvP. I tried to do this in the dark zone, guys. I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't find a lot of players. Most of the players I found were farmers, so it was very difficult to get footage. That's why it's mainly conflict footage, but it's going to be PvP focused. This build will work amazingly in PvE as well. Go for it. It does high amounts of damage, and you are absolutely a tank. You got 1.5 million armor, and there's many ways you can take this build. So let's get into the description. I think you understand what I mean by this. Let's go through the specialization. I've gone for firewall. That's mainly because the armor kit is just really nice. It's completely up to you. And also I do use this build from close range. If you get rushed, this is not one of those builds where if you get rushed, you're dead. We have got over 120% crit damage, 1.5 million armor with an Eagle Bearer, for example. If we can pull out our shield, we can dish out huge amounts of damage whilst being tanky, even if we get pushed. So this is by no means a completely just a middle range to long range build. You can utilize it in both close range and long range, but at longer ranges, it is just so much better. So make sure you have assault rifle damage on. You can use whatever secondary weapon you want. That's completely up to you guys. You can use whatever specialization you want as well. This is one of those builds where it doesn't actually matter. I like the striker shield, which gives you damage bonuses when you're nearby the enemy. You can also, the armor kit is the main reason, because if you proc the armor kit on the other specializations and you get tapped by someone or the burn, you have to proc another one, whereas the firewall specialization one, it's 10 seconds worth of healing. So I really do recommend this, especially playing at longer ranges, because we haven't got no armor regeneration. So if I'm honest, I'd probably go for technician as my secondary, because we can have artificial hive for the shield, and we can also utilize the extra skill tier. It's completely up to you guys. Like I said, all my builds are templates. Fix them, adjust them to suit your own playstyles. This is going to be the build. So we are going to be getting huge amounts of damage. So that's going to be 50% plus 25%. So that's 75% weapon damage, which is a lot. And we are tanky. So the whole point of this build is to stay from range, aim your scope. You do get used to it, and it's quite interesting because I think on console, it might be even easier to aim because the recoil is mitigated quite well shooting through the scope. Now, I haven't used the ACOG scope the 8 times. I've used I think it's the 30 times. We'll have a look at it now because it's easier to aim it. It's got a nice crosshair rather than that circle, which is not very good to utilize. We have got, I think, 32% crit chance, which doesn't matter because this is going to be, like I said, mainly focused. It's still good at close range, but mainly focused at longer ranges, giving us 25% crit chance. So if we have 30%, you know, that's 55% critical hit chance, which is still very good, almost maxed out. So ideally you want around between 30 to 35% crit chance, and then keep your range and then get the max crit, because we have a high amount of crit damage and headshot damage through the scope, which is multiplicative off of the gloves as well, which gives us damage to armor and damage to outside of cover. That's why I've gone for those pieces. Now, I have in no way maxed out this build. It's nowhere near min-maxed, but I'm going to be working on it because I've been testing this for a couple of days now, and I'm happy to release it. It's not perfect. I wouldn't recommend rolling hazard protection. I'm going to be honest, guys. It's not one of my most complete builds, but I wanted to get this out there because it's so strong. Even in conflict, I was just dominating, fighting rogues as well, keeping your distance. If people are abusing the galvanized talent with SMGs, you getting foamed all the time, they won't even be able to foam you, put you on fire at all. Keeping distance is one of the best ways to counter the current meta. So 1.5 million armor. We have gone for the FAL SA58, which is one of the best guns from longer ranges. It's not the best gun from up close, that's why I've got the Eagle Bearer, but we're going to have a big scope on this, a big boy scope. So make sure you guys have in sync. Every time we pull out the shield, we're going to be doing quite a lot of damage, 30% damage on top of what we already have, which is huge. So you can use whatever talent you want. Optimist would be really good. The problem with holding your shield out while you're aiming from the scope is that when your shield gets broken, there's about a split second delay between you actually firing your weapon and not firing it, so it's quite annoying. It doesn't shoot. I thought it was a bug, but it's actually your shield being destroyed, so don't worry. You don't have to even pull out your shield with this. It's really nice, and it's very accurate because of the scope. So let's have a look at the mods. Remember, guys, you need at least an 8 by scope. So this is a 12 by scope. Sorry, not a 30. It's a 12 by. It's 35% weapon damage, which is really, really good. Now you can use an 8 by scope. You can even use a marksman rifle if you guys really want to, but I do recommend this. This is a crit build. This is not a headshot build. But if you do hit your headshots, which is quite easy from about 15 to 25 meters, it's not that hard. But you can also put a different scope. You can put a 8 by scope here. But I don't like the reticle. It's like a red circle. It's really not that easy to utilize. Then crit damage rolled on almost everything. Make sure you guys do that. Also, I've actually modded this incorrectly, I think. Yeah, I've missed out on 5% crit damage. RIP. So that's the thing, as you always have to constantly check with your build because of the specialization as well. This is another reason to use it. We get an extra 5% crit damage, which is very, very nice. Okay, so secondary, I'm going to be utilizing the Eagle Bearer because when I get pushed and I get the tenacity buff, I'm immune to damage, so I can just push the rest of the team and get some kills. It's really, really strong. If you don't have the Eagle Bearer, go for whatever you want, but I do recommend using something that is good from close range, maybe a FAMAS or even an SMG. It's completely up to you guys, and mod it similar ways if it's not exotic, obviously. Pistol, you can use whatever you want. Okay, so let's go through the stats before we go through the pieces, because I want to show you the stats, then I can explain it further through the pieces. So 31.4% crit chance. Remember, we're going to be getting an additional 25%, so that'll give us 40, 50, 55, somewhere there. 55, 56.4, whatever it is. You guys can do the math, but it's up to you to decide how much crit chance you want. I'm happy with that. I could put an additional mod, but I didn't feel necessary because I'm trying to hit my headshots. If you're on console, I would recommend maybe making sure you have max crit chance, but the headshots are multiplicative on PC, so it is a bit easier for me. I can imagine on console it's a bit difficult. So 120% crit damage, which is very good. Then 133% headshot damage, which is huge. Then if we get rushed, we use the Eagle Bearer. 120% crit damage, 108% headshot damage. No laughing matter considering that we have 1.5 million armor. So going through the rest of the stats, you guys can pause the video if you want to have a look and see. Remember, we're getting such a huge amount of extra damage from InSync and the focus and backpack vigilance talent. It's actually scary. So pause the video if you want to have a look at all the other stats. It's completely up to you. So I think you know why we use the Coyote's Mask. It's because we can get that crit chance, so we can actually just focus on headshot damage and crit damage on the build. But crit damage is going to be the main focus because I did not want to just make this a headshot build. Coyote's Mask, pack instincts. So 0 to 15 meters, we're getting an additional 25% crit damage for Eagle Bearer. So it's like 145% crit damage, which is really strong. 15 to 25 meters, 10% crit damage and 10% critical chance. And it also gives our teammates this as well. So 25 meters plus, which is generally where I fight from. It's going to be 25% crit chance, which gives us near the 60% mark. So make sure you put this on and utilize the mod slot with probably, if you have got one like this, 12% critical damage, which is very, very nice. Then the chest piece, I've modded I've modded crit chance there on the chest piece, and I've modded extra crit chance on the bag because I've got the different mod slots, and I do recommend utilizing that under barrel that gives you 10% crit damage. The chest piece is going to be Fenris. Now it's important to note we don't want 2-piece Providence or 3-piece. It's just a waste. We can get the 15% crit damage from the Grupo, the 1-piece, which gives us 10% assault rifle damage, and then the headshot damage. If you're on console and you're not too confident, put a Walker in Harris or something else. Really, it's completely up to you. Or just go for Providence. Sometimes you hit a headshot, more likely because of the scope. Okay, so I've got explosive resistance because I cannot find a chest piece with focus. I need to farm some better pieces. Crit damage, though, it has crit damage. Headshot damage would be perfect, and even a blue over there would still be good. But focus is really good. Make sure, to do this, I need to quickly deselect and select it so it will be active because of the scope. It's putting my pistol on, but it does work. So increase total weapon damage by 5% every second you're aiming. You pull out your gun, you aim through the scope, you wait a bit. Even if you wait a second or two, you're still getting so much damage. It's 5% every second, guys. So for 2 seconds, you're already getting 10% damage. It's just so nice, and it's a huge amount, 50%. When you have max stacks, the players just absolutely just get wrecked. It's hilarious, and I do recommend giving this a go. The only problem is you need a scope, so you're not really aware of your surroundings, but if you play with a team that can communicate with you and tell you where the NPCs are or where the enemy players are, it's going to really help you a lot. The holster, crit damage, simple Grupo, crit damage, crit chance, and maxed out armor, very good. Maxed out armor, backpack, Providence, hazard protection, which is not what I want, but I do have headshot damage. I would rather have crit damage, but hazard protection, I can't complain. I mean, if you get put on fire or get naded or something, or put on the bleed from your teammates, you can at least mitigate it a bit. It's completely up to you what you want to do. You could either go full hazard protection with this, it's up to you guys, but because this is going to be medium to long range, I wouldn't really recommend it that much. Vigilance, obviously, because we get maximum amount of damage, and we won't be taking too much from players because we can just mitigate it by moving in and out of cover, because this is not a close range build, even though it does work. And when your shield gets shot, your vigilance stays up, giving you that 25% damage. So with the gloves and the knee pads, it's going to be Ye Old Faithful. Why? Because it's still best in slot. Damage to armor 8%, and then damage to targets out of cover. I've got trash runs. I've found so many of these. I've got 6 contractors gloves with hazard protection. That gives you an idea of my RNG. So you want crit damage or headshot damage, or even crit chance to get your cap up if you have it below 30 to 35%. So make sure you guys do this. It's very good. They're still the best in slot. The damage is unmatched. It's really good. You don't have to use them. You could, if I were to give you some advice for something maybe else that you could utilize. 1-piece Belston Armory for the 1% armor regen, and then the named Murakami knee pads Emperor's Guard for another. So that gives you 2% armor regen, which would make this even tankier. So it's completely up to you what you want to do. The nice thing about this build is that you can have 2 million armor and still shred a player or an NPC with 1 mag. So I really do recommend it. So that's going to be it for the build. Let's go downstairs so I can quickly give you a little demonstration against PvE if you wanted to utilize this to see what kind of numbers we're getting, because obviously I didn't put that in the video. So let's just double check. This will be on heroic. It is, yes. We'll put it on to named, and I can give you guys an idea of the damage and how it actually transfers when you're utilizing this. So let's go right up to 20 meters. Actually, let's use this one. This is going to be a bit better. 25, we're going to be getting the crit chance. It's about 26 because where I'm standing. So if you have a look at this, guys, well, we're going to change the difficulty, obviously. We don't have to go full named. Let's go elite. So if you have a look here, it's about 625,000 damage. And as it goes up, you see, you can take off aiming, aim, take off, aim, take off, aim, while you're moving. And it still stays up. So 625, 782,000, and when I pull out my shield, 915k. There's just under 1 million damage with 1.5 million armor, and this build is nowhere near min-maxed. We could get way clear of 1 million damage if I just had better Fox's Prayer and Contractor's Gloves. I don't even have crit damage or headshot damage on them. So you can imagine this build can get so strong. I think this could be one of the strongest builds to counter the meta. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you going to run more reds? You can definitely run more reds and then do way more damage, but it's up to you guys. Let me know, like I said in the comments. Leave a like, make sure to click that notification bell, subscribe, and I'll be seeing everybody in the next video. Peace out, agents.